So many of us grew up saying, man, I cannot wait for the day I walk down the aisle to get married. Now, for my married folks, we sometimes hear marriage is beautiful, while others think marriage is hard. Now, is it really hard, or have we built enough knowledge or plug into our resources to make sure that we build a healthy love? Welcome back to Self Care with TiCa, where we have honest conversation. Today, I am so happy to be talking about marriage, love, the 50-50 conversation, submission, and so much more. So if you are single, married, whatever your relationship status is, this episode is for you to watch. So today, I'm not alone. When I was thinking of this perfect topic, I had to bring the perfect couple. So I cannot wait for you all to hear their perspective. So come with me to the studio to meet FanFan and Tamara. Let's go! FanFan and Tamara, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having us, Colleen, and we are so happy to be here to have conversations with you around vulnerability, marriage, 50-50 concept, and whatever questions you want to ask.
Let me tell you, when I was thinking of this subject, there was no one more perfect I could think of than you two. You know, watching you both, I saw a lot of different stages in your lives. Pastor FanFan, Pastor FanFan, I still have to get used to the word. Pastor FanFan. Let me tell you guys a little bit of background.
Don't give too much.
When I was 3,
she aged us.
when I was 3, I grew up with this beautiful couple here. I got to see a lot of their different journeys. So when I was thinking of this concept of marriage, I'm surrounded by smart people. I think I said that multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have to recruit people to come to this podcast. All I have to do is make a phone call. So
right.
Having the two perfect people for this subject, we're gonna have so much fun. So I'm excited to have you both here. FanFan, did you want to say anything to the people before you get started?
I'm very happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And as you mentioned, we know you a long time ago. And I don't want to say any numbers.
No, that was 10 years ago.
But it's been a while. It's a pleasure to see you grow.
Oh, thank you.
This is very beautiful, I like it.
Okay.
I like it.
Listen, that is a lot coming from FanFan. Okay? I like it. Okay, so tell the people who you guys are, your names, how long have you guys been married, and what is the journey has been like for you both as we, before we get into the real conversations.
Women first.
Yes, ladies first.
You didn't want to say it. My name is Sister Tamara, and we've been married 29 years.
Ooh, say that again.
29 good years.
29 good years, and y'all don't even look 29.
Praise the Lord.
This started,
when you don't drink, when you're not out partying, when you're not doing all of that, so the age doesn't show, but we praise God for everything He's done. 29 years we've been married. The journey has been long, but it's been worth it, and we wouldn't change it for anything in the world. So.
Well, non, moi c'est Frédéric Mésidor, bien connu sous nom FanFan, Pastor FanFan Mésidor. Et moi c'est un ingénieur dans electrical engineering. Non, c'est un maître choral. Non, c'est un pasteur. Et puis, non, j'ai un master dans information technology. And I also have a master in biblical study.
Yeah.
And I'm still learning. I'm still in school.
Yeah.
Trying to get my PhD in mission and evangelization and church growth.
Okay. See, one thing I'm excited about today is Kringlish, Creole and English, because I was telling them, they'll tell you guys about themselves later, but I was like, I want to do some stuff in Creole, because look at I see me, Creole.
Right.
So, I was like, this is even perfect.
Yeah.
FanFan is the the Kringlish king. So yeah, so Super Mario Glad, this is the perfect episode for Lugadi.
You'll get both.
Right, you'll get both. And if you don't speak Creole, grab a Haitian. They'll translate it for you. Okay, so don't worry, we have something for everybody today. But I love that you both been married for 29 years or about 3 decades now, because that's unheard of, right? I've seen marriages now lasting way less than that, and before we even get to some of the questions, I'm wondering, how did you guys meet?
Go ahead. Ladies first.
All right. So
the stories are different.
The stories are always different from different angles. Okay. So we met at church.
Okay.
I was already at the church. We ended up being at that church for 2 years, actually. But I was already at the church, and my husband had not come here yet to the United States. But his dad was one of the deacons at the church.
Yeah.
So when he came, it was like, because there wasn't a lot of youth at the church, I think it was like 4 of us girls and like 2 men that was at the church at the time. And so when he came and his sisters came, it was like, oh my God, our youth is growing. But then when he came and his brother and 2 of his sisters, it was like God sent, because we were expending our youth, but also, this guy's cute,
So you saw him first.
No, we saw each other. Okay. But yeah, that's the way we met. We were in church. We were in the youth group together, and we started writing little letters and putting it in our chant d'espérance.
Lots of letters.
Those were the old days. There was no text messages.
Nope.
It was at the time where it was beepers, and you had to.
They don't know what that is, though.
They don't know. Old time age.
Yeah.
It was beepers, Colleen, and then you had to beep the person, and the person would have to call you on the landline.
Oh my God.
Those were the days. But we used to write letters in the chant d'espérance or the Bibles. The time that he would come to church, or the times that he would be working, I would give his sister the Bible to give him, not knowing what's in there. It would be like, these are things we wrote for the youth group. Can you give him that Bible, or can you give him that notebook? So that's how we used to do it. My grandma used to carry the notebook and the Bibles without knowing. Yes, she did. Semela used to carry.
I'm sure she did
Never
not.
knew that.
She used to carry those chant d'espérance or those notebooks. Like, can you give that something I wrote for the youth group? And she would give it to him for me. So those how we started.
Papa, is that how you started?
Well, mine is kind of the same, but it's a little different. Because when my last year in Haiti, and I said, you know what, God, I need someone. I want to see the one that's going to be married the first day I go to a church.
Wow.
And then here I saw an angel from heaven.
Oh my goodness.
Then I said, then my heart said, pop, 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 pop. And I said, that's her.
Okay.
And then that's when I know that's the one.
Okay.
That's the one. Yeah.
I love that. So I love the stories, especially the Passion d'espérance.
Yeah.
I had my share of. Papi, if you're watching this, man, that never happened.
Question it happened. There was sneaking going on behind your back.
So how you get excited sometimes, like going to church. Was that the same? Like, we're going for the Lord, but your crush is there or something. Okay, so I think
we were in church together. We were in like singing groups together. It was like the best of both worlds, actually. It was like you're going for the Lord to do the Lord's work, but you also are going to see someone that you enjoy being with, and doing that coincidentally, like together. It was one of the best times.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, I think Papa told me how he knew, you were the one. How did you know he was the one? Because we get that question a lot. Like, how do I know this person is the one?
Kind to tell you the truth, people say that sometimes it's love at first sight. I was just trusting God because I was so young. I don't think I knew like that was the one.
Right.
But I knew that I was in a direction of, I'm ready to be with somebody, but I'm looking for someone who loves the Lord. I'm looking for someone who has intention.
Okay.
I'm looking for someone who has potential, because we don't want to say the age, but I was so young. I don't think I was old enough to understand like I'm looking for a certain thing.
Right.
But I knew that he was a servant of the Lord, like he was gonna go somewhere. So people now don't date for potential, but at that time, I think at the age that I was dating potential.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Fofo, how did you know she was the one?
Well, I think was God tell me that's the one.
Okay.
Because moi te m'a dit bon Dieu, je mets pied l'église là pour moi.
Okay.
And then when I saw her, et puis cœur me palpitait, pop, pop, pop. That's the one.
That's the one.
And my brother had an eye on her. And I told my brother, stay away. That's mine. It's gonna be mine.
Who's Tamara?
Bouncing the back to problem, no? Oh my goodness.
Someone said stay away.
She's mine.
That's mine. Yeah.
I like that. And I watch a lot of podcasts and especially the relationship topic, it's something I'm very protective of because I've also been married for 14 years. 14 wonderful years.
Congratulations.
Wow.
I can't believe that.
already.
Oh my gosh.
It's just like yesterday.
Wow.
I never looked like what can this person do for me. It's more like what can we build together.
Right.
But granted, we were young as well, right?
Yeah.
So for those who are, whether it's young or old, do you believe people need to be fully ready, or what is your view overall marrying someone based on potential?
To tell you the truth, now you're having me go deep, Karin. So I have to go a little bit deeper.
Okay.
When I met him and we were young at church, I was 14. And that's how I'm saying, like, I didn't know, like, really what you're looking for.
Right.
So it depends on where you are in life. At 14, you're dating. 16, you're dating. I didn't even call what we were doing dating because it was writing letters back and forth. We were in groups together. We were never like, even when I was, that's another story in itself. Even when I was engaged, I wasn't allowed to go to the movies. So that's how strict my parents were. So we didn't really kind of date, but we were talking. We were getting to know each other. So at 14, I had time to date potential. But my foundation was always that he had to be a man of God. Okay. So that was my first thing, and he had that. So but also too, as I was speaking with him, as we were having these conversations, I was learning of like, he wants to go to school. These are the things that he wants to do. So that's the potential that I saw. Okay, the man of God, these are his dreams. These are what he wants to be in life. I saw that. But if you are in your 20s or 30s, this man already has had time to probably go to school. So I don't really have time to be dating potential. He already has to be probably, doing something with school or working in his field or something like that, so that we can, start building our dreams. But if you're way younger, you're getting there. But if you're in your 20s and 30s, there has to be something that shows you when you're married or when you are in doing real life with this person, what do we have to offer each other? So that's, you made me go there.
Listen, nobody let me say.
Right.
Like you said, it's not for me.
Right.
And for the men, how important is it for a man to come correct when they see that person they want to spend the rest of their lives with?
Well, for the men it's different. So God called us to be the provider. So as a provider, for prepare, as a provider, you need to feed the family. You need to be there for the family financially. Comme nous vivons dans un pays qui est différent, côté que filles à l'école tout, et les gens en profession, then nous connaissons que il est toujours bon. Tant que moi-même, là, nous avons commencé avec madame, moi, là, nous avons marié, là, nous avons commencé relation, nous avons commencé très jeune, et nous pas de rien. We build whatever we have right now.
Yeah.
We build together. So it's good to have potential.
Yeah.
Seulement, on n'a pas rien du tout, mais les bons, les nous build ensemble.
Yeah.
En même temps, when madame moi, il y a un monde qui a potentiel, qui very potential, qui a potentiel, et puis qui nous capable de marier ensemble. Yeah.
What about finances?
Well, it's not only finance.
Right.
It's also trust.
Yeah.
So, moi, ouais que c'est un monde qui est spirituellement strong, et que pendant que nous remettons 10 ans, nous, que no sex before marriage, and then we keep it that way. So when them tombe, they strong, them tombe strong, and then bon Dieu par exemple permettre nous tous les deux tomber ensemble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Il juste parfois le permettre nous tous les deux strong ensemble. C'est ça qui fait que moi ouais que il y a un monde qui a fait confiance.
Yeah.
Ça c'est un bagage que l'homme a cherché. Someone that you trust. Someone qui gagne crainte pour bon Dieu et un monde qui a fait chemin avec.
So there's a division that I'm seeing a lot on social media about what do you bring to the table? What do I bring to the table? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on 50-50?
I can start that. 50-50 will destroy your marriage.
Oh,
50-50 will destroy your marriage. What if the guy is not working? What if you get to a point where the lady is not working?
Yeah.
So as a family, we won.
Yeah.
Pendant que nous won, we cannot be. A one is just like 100%.
Yeah.
So whatever I have and whatever my wife has is for the family. In total, is 100%. 100% for me and 100% for her.
Okay.
So when you get to 50-50, that's so avenue qui va craser mariage.
So.
And sometimes 50-50 is not fair.
Right.
What if, listen, I'm bringing, let's say a number, right? What if I'm bringing in 100,000 and my partner is bringing in 50,000 and now we're doing 50-50. The one that's making 50,000, is that fair for them? No, it's 100 and 100. Whatever we need to provide for the mortgage, whatever we need to provide for the kids, whatever we need to make the insurance work. Not that, you give everything you have, because maybe you give each other allowances.
Yeah.
Like we bring everything in, after everything's paid, okay, I need my nails to be done. I need my hair to be done.
Yeah.
I need something like where we can go eat, have dates together. But this concept of 50-50, I think, it destroys, marriages.
So if you are a young person right now, you're thinking of 50-50, what advice would you give them?
I would say, rethink the 50-50.
Yeah.
And look at, whatever, each person is going to bring into the household. I would either let's agree to bring everything in.
Yeah.
And let's agree to give each other allowances. And listen, I don't care what you do with your allowance. Let's say it's an allowance where you're going to do your hair. Me, I'm going to buy sneakers or whatever I'm going to do with whatever is left over that we're going to spend together, or date night. We're going to spend this for date night. I don't care what you do. Let's say you have allowance and part of it is to go eat lunch and you don't eat lunch.
Yeah.
You choose to save that part of your allowance and you're stacking a little.
Yeah.
My husband doesn't need to know that, okay, with my allowance, I want a Louis in 3 years. So I'm stacking up my money to get my Louis. When I walk in with my Louis, he's not going to say, where'd you get that from? Because we already know, what's happening. I would even go to the concept if a couple chooses to do even percentages. Because if our marriage is for us and I have your back and you have my back. If you're making the 50,000, why would I ask for you to put the same amount as me doing 100,000? It should be maybe a percentage because you're not going to be able to put as much as I put.
Yeah.
So how do I get your back in that sense? So that's what I would say. Like there's different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
But do what works for you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, because I always feel like that concept always go into the finances, and there's so much more in marriages than finances.
That's true.
You know, it's just we don't sit every day talking about money all day.
It's true.
You know.
I can add something now.
Yeah.
So if it's like when you're doing 50-50, oh, ça montre que nous mariés, c'est vrai, physiquement, mais finance nous pas mariés.
Wow. It's on me.
Yeah.
As finance nous mariés,
Mhm.
même bien nous même physiquement nous mariés.
Mhm.
So if I have money apart, ou bien comme nous venons séparément, ou bien pas dans la pour là. Si nous mariés, I mean we have kids. But why do I have to have a secret? Tant que madame se dit, nous gagnons allowance.
Yeah.
Parce que nous gagnons set amount of money that we put apart for me, put apart for her, her gas money, her spiritual money, and her, all the other things. Si fait un budget, we know comment que dépense nous avec.
Yeah.
So nous qu'à mettre à part pour dépenses pas non, dépenses personnelles non.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is a good thing.
It is a good thing. And
The hard part is sometimes it's because people have their own interests. Like if I have my family back I'm sending money to, then I don't want you to know what's coming in, or I have other things that I want to do. I don't want you to know how much is coming in and things like that. It's like other interests that come, but marriage shouldn't be only about money, but sometimes it's the reason why marriages break up, because it's such a big part that you need to know even before you're married how you're going to roll out your finances.
Yeah. I love that.
So I used to be a marriage counselor sometimes. As a former marriage counselor, I often saw couples struggle with supporting each other's needs, goals, and growth. How do you think couples can better show up for one another?
What advice would you tell couples? How can they support each other?
I think support looks like whatever point you are in your marriage, what you need the most. For me, what I needed support with when we first got married, when we were young, is not what I need support with now.
Okay.
When we were young and we were having kids, I needed support and help with, the kids. I needed support. Let's say when I was married when I was going to school. So I think my youngest was about 4 when I graduated from Florida Atlantic University. And at that time, what did I need from my husband? I needed to have space when I want to study. He's doing homework, or he's playing with her, or he's feeding her. So I needed support so that I could finish school at that time. Different times in your life, you're going to need different types of support, and your partner needs to be there as your teammate. As your teammate, to be able to support you at that time. And sometimes tag, you're it. I need you to do this, or he needs me to do that, because we are a team and our team needs to win. So different times in your life, different times in your marriage, you're going to need different type of support.
Would you see the same thing, Papa?
Yes. We need to be a team, and we are a team.
A team, yeah.
On our team, we don't care who shot the ball, who scored more goals, as long as the team won.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say that again. I love it's the team.
It's the team.
Because it's so much individuality.
Yeah.
I'm saying it well.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing in today, it's I've seen women with potentials. They want to go back to school, but they're like, they'll get it. Who's gonna watch these kids coming from their own husbands, right? And And Fofa, I'm glad with the men perspective. How could you tell these young men? Because I always feel like the man is the head. It's not, it's biblical, right?
Yeah.
I feel like when the men walk well, everything follows. Growing up, the people from the bagay,
That's right.
like, we don't even sometimes we don't even have to ask mommy. The people do it, we good because he leads and then we follow.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of the time it's lacking now. What do you think? Why do you think we're lacking? Why do you think our men are not, marche bien?
Mga pale pou relasyon pa nou.
Okay.
La relasyon pa nou, waiting.
Right.
Even though I'm the man, even before I make the shot, we talk.
I love that.
Then I know ki kote l plase pou fè shot pal la. And she knows kote m plase pou m fè shot pal la. So nou antan nou ansam. But m pense ke se sa ki fè mariage nou. Rive jiske la kote nou ya. Because yo di lang adan kon mode, but parfois lang nan gen nou ap chèche mwen pou l'ange kol bien, pou dan pa model. But we have to live together.
Yeah.
And then bon Dieu kriye nou, God put us together to stay for life. Jiska ske nou mouri. And then like with 29 years, I can tell you I'm very happy with our marriage. And then nous continue à faire bien. And one thing also, we got to put God first.
Yeah.
If you forget God dans mariage, then forget about it. Ou pas qu'à retirer bon Dieu dans mariage.
And it's
God
easy.
first.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's easy to follow a man. You're talking about the leadership of a man, like you followed your dad. It's easy to follow a man who's following God. Okay? And it's easy to follow a man that you trust.
Yeah.
I think like leadership, to follow the man's lead, if it's somebody you trust, it's almost automatic. If it's somebody you know that submits to God first, He's not going to ask you to do something that's out of God's will. So it's easy to follow the leadership of like your dad and people like that, and my husband, because they're following the person who's going to lead them not astray, who's going to lead them to the right path. So it's easy to fall back to submit to someone that you trust and someone you know that God is leading. You know?
And that is so true, because I know exactly what that looks like sometimes. When I love when my husband is gonna make a decision and he runs it by me first, even though he knows what he's gonna do. And I'll tell people that when it comes to submission, right, there's a difference. A lot of the time I feel like people are talking about dictatorship.
Right.
Not submission.
Yeah.
Not you do as I say, but I trust this woman enough. When I'm gonna make this decision, I'm gonna run it by my wife first, or I'm gonna need my wife's prayer to back me up, or we're gonna do this. I may not see it 5 years from now, but I trust you. You're leading me the right way, right? So, and I think that's one thing I want to encourage a lot of our generation. Like, when you said yes to that person, do you trust that person to lead you, right?
That's right.
And for in the church, again, we're talking about the church, right? How important, like, what do you feel like the church part in raising these men? Is it more family or both when it comes to teaching our men how to lead properly so things can follow?
That's the problem. When we talk about men as a leader, and you say spiritual leader also.
Right.
So teaching the kids how to grow in the family, how tako yon papa ki nan famille kap dirige famille spirituellement. Kote ke ou apren ti moun yo koman pou yo viv bien.
Right.
But like ou gen put the principle in question, you're not doing it right, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also too, when they're a leader knows how to call out leadership in other people, right?
Yes.
And just because you're the leader or you're the man of the house, that doesn't mean that you do everything well. Maybe you don't know much about balancing a checkbook or the finance. Now, let's say if you give your wife to handle the finance, are you still not a leader? You are a leader because you are still calling out the leadership of the people in the house. If you're not, I think leaders, a lot of men, maybe they think like they should do everything because I'm the leader. I'm calling the shots. I'm saying like with my big voice, all that's not leadership. Leadership is calling out the leader in others and figuring out and having the eye to see, where is my wife strong? Where am I going to elevate her? So that again, I'm going to say the team can win, so that the marriage, the family can win. So that's what leadership
I'm
is.
hearing team, I'm hearing God, I'm hearing communication. Right. And I love how you say bringing out the leadership out of us, right? Because in the workplace, some people do so well as managing a whole team. Meanwhile, their families are sometimes falling apart, right? So, it sounds like you did get married young, right?
I did,
and I'm a fan of young love. I mean, I love like the grow old together. I never looked at it as dating gum. I like that 14, 15, 29 years or combined over 60 years on this table. But to me that's growing old, right? But for a lot of women, sometimes I see they tend to lose their personality or themselves after they get married or after they have kids. So what advice would you give a young woman who wants to get married, and how can they keep Tamara? How are you still Tamara? You might have for you mama, but how, speaking of self-care, how do you remain Tamara?
I think because I got married early, it was a learning process for me. I had to get to Tamara because I did lose myself for a little bit. And I think I was so enthralled in having children. And I think my husband too, because he was involved in church. So if he needed to go, or he would be in some of these meetings until like midnight, 1 o'clock. So bedtime was on me. Like I needed to go to work in the morning and also do all the things for the 3 kids. So I think that I was doing so much that motherhood was everything. I did lose myself. But I had to learn, like as he was busy in a lot of the church things, or he was doing things, that he's happy to do, I had to learn like, listen, girl, get a hobby. You're losing yourself here. Get it together real quick. Because as you lose yourself, it's kind of sad. Like you lose pieces of yourself and everybody else is becoming themselves, right? He was building things for church. He was going to school at the same time. My kids were growing up and I was all enthralled in them, and as I was losing myself. But then I learned like, get your hobby. Watch things that you enjoy. Once in a while, like I remember when I first had my baby, he would be coming to work and I would be holding her in front of the door, like, man, here. Even if your turn. Even if I had to go at Walmart, not buy anything, just walk around, I needed that time to collect myself and not just gaga goo goo all day long and find myself. So you need to know where you are. If it's your nails that you got to take an hour and go do, find yourself that way. Get a hobby. Because at the end of the day, when everybody's built their careers, the children are grown, you need to really reconnect to really who you are. So
I love what you said, Tamara. You know why? Because I love how you were vulnerable. I did lose myself.
I did.
So for women who are struggling right now that feel like they lost themselves, that's okay. And it sounds like to me you got back.
You got back, and you can always backtrack. You can always like say, listen, I'm drowning. Listen, I have postpartum. Listen, I need some help. Sometimes if we needed to get back to our marriage, we would drop them off at my mom's house and we would go like just for 2 hours on a date or something. Or we would just like take a quick 3-day cruise so like we can reconnect because yes. Or I would just go do my nails. I would just go take a walk, listen to music. I would just do something quick so that I can reconnect with my maker, so that I can reconnect with myself. If you feel like you're there, you're losing yourself, it's okay to backtrack.
Come back to yourself. And for the men, because men do lose themselves too. I feel bad for, I'm team men. I know, America be going down on our men. I'm team men.
That's right.
So a lot of men, they do,
From this ado, gen un pil garçon qui pense que si fille a pas le travail, li la ka la, just like she's on vacation.
Peace encore. La regarder si mon la ka la et la vacances.
Et pourtant, les exprès pour madame la clean, madame la fait manger, take care de Simona. That's a lot of work. To me, it's like when I got home and my wife handed me the baby, and I said, that's true, because I've been out there.
Yeah.
But like there's more work. I ought to be at work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I ought to be at work.
Yeah.
Parce que nous même garçons, we need to understand that the ladies are, they're putting some good hours working at home.
Yeah.
Et puis nous avons tendance with culture, like I know, in Haiti, when the man is the king, you think that lady has to do everything.
Right.
But je songe que l'embina ici m'bina apprendre de papa madame that's not how it's supposed to be. So I learned from him.
Yeah. When he used to come to my house, he would see my dad taking out his own food. He would see my dad washing the dishes.
Papa Haitian?
My dad is Haitian. Till this day, my mom doesn't clean the bathroom. My mom cooks and my dad cleans the bathroom. He cleans the house. So, but my husband's family is different. His dad, they serve him. Yeah. Everything is kind of done for the king.
My dad is listening.
I forget it.
We love you.
He knows it's true.
No, c'est sérieux. My mom was doing everything.
Yeah.
So my dad was kind of the king is, and how it doesn't watch TV.
He thought that was the treatment he was going to
get. It's always with his Bible or Sunday school book. That's what he does for a living. This guy loves to read the Bible. My mom is doing everything in the house. And then, un peu de fois nous pas payer attention à ça. La fille travaille plus.
Yeah, that's true.
Tout comme nous fait, et nous t'as dû porter la fille.
Amen. Ladies.
But anyway, it's a marriage. It's a fait de parler tout à l'heure, hein? Et comme la vini non seul de caca, it's our money.
Yeah, it is, and it's true, because I feel like he responsibility being please the older we we get. I tell people al travail, ici, al travail, sometimes. Well, especially for new moms, I see that struggle when they have to be home for 6 to 8, 12 weeks, and then it's one income. I've seen them, Corinne, I have to get back to work. It's just my husband. I feel bad. They're still dealing with all of that. So I'm gonna miss that. Do you feel like going through some of the storms? Do you feel like that brought you closer together? Because for some people, things just crumble.
For us, I think people have to know. They go into a marriage and it's a commitment, right? At first, yes, it's a lot of lust and a lot of, everything is rosy. But then when the everyday come of waking up, having to go, taking care of kids, it takes a toll.
Yeah.
And is marriage lovey-dovey or is marriage work? It's both. Lovey-dovey comes, it's like a wave, it comes and goes. But the work, the commitment, has to stay. So with us, it's truly a team. We knew that these kids, we had to raise them. Yeah. We had to do everything we needed to do to raise them. I remember my husband was the one, he likes, since Haiti, he likes his clothes to be pressed 100%. And I'm I don't like ironing. So if you want your kids to look so presentable when they're going to school, that's not on me. Every morning, Colleen, This man would wake up, iron the kids' clothes. As I'm trying to get them ready, take the clothes that he's put.
Yeah.
Either they put it on. He would drive them to school. Doing their little verses with them, drop them off. I would pick them up and come home. Either stop at Publix, come home and cook. When he would come, we would sit together and eat and things like that. So we tag team.
Mm-hmm.
We knew things had to get done.
Yeah.
So we tried to work as a team and get it done together. And we knew it was a commitment. Listen, we said the word D is not part of our vocabulary. We're in this for good.
Yeah.
The word D is not part of the vocabulary, so we threw that out. Listen, we're gonna make the commitment to make this work.
Yeah, and this is so good, by the way. This was so good because like them to the divorce, or like it's always like the things the person is doing wrong. Like you say, like I don't like passe either. Like sometimes they might say passe get a cool like can you please?
Yeah.
Because he's military, so
I'm telling you,
you're good at that.
When they gave him the scump in the back of their pants, so he used to iron his clothes. Oh, you like your kids to be ironed and clean?
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
And and that's what your strength is, right? It doesn't diminish the woman passe back on passe or you back on femager. So, Papa, I want to hear your perspective on that. For men, I feel like sometimes because marriage is all about small deposits, the little bit goes a long way, from my experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how do we keep loving our people even when we don't find the things that are supposed to be important, or is it as important?
Mm-hmm.
Well, tout ça nous parle là, c'est vérité. Tant que nos target côté pour nous faire chat là, pendant moi de parler de ironing the clothes, les gens doivent pas tellement aimer moi faire moi ça pas faire less than a man.
Yeah.
So au côté ça fait stronger. I'm happy to see my kids going to school clean, and that come with respect for the kids' parents. The Timons are vraiment bien habillés. That's good. Pas ouais que, like I said, less than a man.
Yeah.
More content parce que I'm helping the team win.
Pastor cooks too. You know that?
Okay.
Pastor makes his palaloo.
Yeah.
His militant and all the
he does it all.
And that doesn't make you less of a man or her less of a woman.
So j'ai une fois madame t'es comme madame qui t'es mariée parce que t'es mariée de mariage. Then we only had Rebecca.
Yeah.
Then I had to put the clothes on Rebecca, and then pants and shoe. Then that's when I get to the church.
Yeah.
And then there's something is wrong with Rebecca. The clothes was they were there. I mean, hey, madame était appréciée ça because I'm faithful. So I didn't have to call her mom to help me out. I did it myself, and I was happy.
Yeah. So see, I'm thinking like the leadership part of a man, knowing when to step up, when to do what that doesn't diminish, And I think the word for me today is like, we knew the word team, but I love how the team is being explained. Like we hear people say, oh, marriage is a team, but a lot of people don't know what a team looks like, right? I was blessed to see my parents being married pour 40 ans. Because, I'm taking front row seat pour me connaître mariage bon. You get off at babier, but I wasn't scared to go into it.
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know you are enjoying this conversation. However, this wraps up part 1 of our time with Pastor FanFan and Sister Tamara. But don't worry, because we will be back soon for part 2. So stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.